The gavel cracked like a thunderbolt in the hushed Chicago courtroom, slicing through the thick air of judgment and despair. Judge Harlan Whitaker's hand trembled as he stared down at the defendant, his heart slamming against his ribs like a prisoner desperate for escape. There, shackled and unbowed, stood Elias, his own flesh and blood, the son he had cast out like yesterday's refused 20 years ago for daring to love another man. Harlan's vision blurred, the weight of that long-buried secret crashing over him like Lake Michigan's winter waves. He had built a fortress of denial in the sterile halls of justice, convincing himself the boy was dead to him, a ghost from a life he refused to mourn. But now, in this moment of raw exposure, the past clawed its way back, demanding reckoning. Elias met his father's gaze not with hatred, but with a quiet fire that burned straight through Harlan's soul, whispering the truth he could no longer ignore. Abandonment was the real crime here. As the bailiff called the court to order, Harlan swallowed the bile rising in his throat. The charge was theft, grand larceny from a high-end gallery in the Loop. Paintings worth a fortune vanished into the night. Elias, once a promising artist himself, now accused of betraying the very world that had nurtured his talent. Whispers rippled through the gallery like wind through the elms of Grant Park. Isn't that the judge's son? The one who disappeared? Harlan's knuckles whitened on the bench. He had to stay impartial, but impartiality felt like a noose tightening around his neck. Elias stood tall, his green eyes scanning the room until they locked on Marcus in the third row. Marcus Hale, his anchor, his love, the man who had pieced together the fragments of Elias's shattered heart with patient hands and unwavering faith. At 34, Marcus was a social worker in the South Side, his broad shoulders and easy smile a beacon in the storm of Elias's life. They had met 3 years ago at a community art exhibit, where Marcus had bought Elias's painting of two silhouettes embracing against a stormy skyline, not knowing it mirrored their future. Now, Marcus's fingers twisted a worn leather bracelet, their promise token, as worry etched lines across his face. Mr. Whitaker, the prosecutor, a sharp-faced woman named Lydia Voss, began, her voice slicing like a scalpel. You were caught on security footage slipping into the gallery after hours. The stolen pieces, Monet-inspired abstracts valued at over $200,000, were found in your studio. Care to explain? Elias's lawyer, a fiery public defender named Sofia Ramirez, shot up. Objection, Your Honor. The evidence is circumstantial. My client was framed by a jealous rival. Harlan's voice emerged hoarse, barely his own. Overruled. Proceed. But inside, memories flooded him. Elias is a boy, 16 and trembling, confessing his first crush on a classmate in their quiet Iowa farmhouse. Harlan's rage had erupted then, a torrent of Bible verses and small-town shame, ending with Elias's tear-streaked face vanishing into the night. Harlan had told himself it was for the boy's own good, to toughen him up. God, what a lie. The trial unfolded like a storm gathering over the city. Voss paraded witnesses. The gallery owner, a slick millennial named Theo Grant, who claimed Elias had begged for a show and been denied, fueling resentment. He was desperate, Theo sneered. I saw the hunger in his eyes. Then came the tech expert, replaying grainy footage of a hooded figure, Elias's build, his stride, hauling canvases into a van. Sophia countered with Elias's alibi. He had been at home with Marcus, sketching late into the night. But the timestamp on the video contradicted it, and Marcus's testimony, though heartfelt, carried the bias of love. Elias wouldn't steal, Marcus said, his voice steady but eyes pleading. He's the most honest soul I've ever known. That night, we were celebrating our anniversary, candles, wine, the works. The jury leaned forward, a mix of skeptical suits and curious locals, hanging on every word. Harlan adjourned for lunch, fleeing to his chambers like a man pursued by demons. He sank into his leather chair, the portrait of Lady Justice mocking him from the wall. How had Elias ended up here? Last Harlan heard, through a cousin's whisper, the boy had fled to Chicago, scraping by as an artist in Boys Town. Harlan had never reached out, never apologized. Pride, fear, call what you will, it was cowardice. A knock shattered his reverie. His clerk, old Ben, poked his head in. Judge, the defendant's asking to see you. Privately. Harlan's pulse thundered. Send him in. Elias entered, cuffs removed for the meeting, his presence filling the room like sunlight after rain. Up close, the years had sculpted him into a man of quiet strength, faint laugh lines around his eyes, speaking of joys Harlan had missed. "Dad," Elias said simply, the word a blade to the gut. "Don't," Harlan rasped, standing. "This isn't a family reunion," Elias finished, his tone laced with bitter amusement. "No, it's justice, or whatever passes for it in your world." Harlan's throat closed. "Why theft, Elias? Of all things." Elias's laugh was hollow. "You think I'd stoop that low? Someone planted those paintings to ruin me. Theo, he wanted my spot in the upcoming exhibit. But you know what hurts more? Seeing you up there, playing God, when you couldn't even love your own son." The words landed like punches. Harlan reached out, then dropped his hand. "I was wrong. Terrified. Your mother left us both because of you," Elias cut in. "She couldn't watch you destroy what you created." Silence stretched, thick as fog off the lake. Then Elias softened, glancing at the door. "Marcus is waiting. He's the family I chose. The one who stayed." Harlan nodded, throat burning. "The trial continues." I'll be fair." "Fair," Elias echoed, turning away. "That's all I ever wanted." As Elias left, Harlan collapsed, sobs racking his frame for the first time in decades. Outside, the city pulsed with life, horns blaring, pedestrians rushing under the L tracks, oblivious to the fracture in one man's soul. Afternoon brought more drama. Sophia introduced Elias's character witnesses, a gallery curator who praised his talent, a neighbor who vouched for his integrity. But Voss struck back with forensics, a single fiber from Elias's jacket on one canvas. The jury murmured, doubt creeping in. Marcus took the stand again, cross-examined mercilessly. "So, Mr. Hale," Voss prodded, "you claim you were together all night. Yet no timestamps on your photos, no receipts. Convenient for lovers, isn't it?" Marcus's jaw set. "Love isn't convenient, Ms. Voss. It's the only truth that matters. Elias and I built a life from nothing. Nights painting by candlelight, mornings sharing coffee on our tiny balcony overlooking the lake. He's no thief, he's a creator." The courtroom held its breath. Harlan felt it too. The raw authenticity of Marcus's words, a testament to the love he had denied his son. As Voss pressed, Marcus's eyes flicked to Elias, a silent vow passing between them, and Harlan saw it. The depth of their bond, forged in resilience against a world that often turned away. By day's end, Harlan called recess, his mind a whirlwind. That night, in his Gold Coast apartment overlooking the glittering skyline, he pored over case files by lamplight. Something nagged, a discrepancy in the van's plates. Digging deeper, he uncovered a link. Theo Grant owned a similar vehicle, registered under a shell company. Sleep evaded him, haunted by dreams of Elias's boyhood, laughter echoing through cornfields, now silenced by his own hand. Dawn broke gray and unforgiving, mirroring the ache in his chest. He had to make this right, not just for justice, but for the son he had lost. Day 2 dawned with rain lashing the windows, mirroring the storm brewing within the courthouse. Harlan entered to a packed gallery, reporters scribbling furiously. Elias looked weary but resolute, Marcus's hand brushing his in a fleeting touch of solidarity. Sophia called her star witness, a former employee of Theo's, a jittery young man named Javier Ruiz. "I saw Mr. Grant load those paintings into his van the night before," Javier stammered under oath. He bragged about framing the new guy, Elias. Said it'd clear the way for his own show. Gasps rippled through the room. Voss objected furiously, hearsay. But Harlan overruled, his voice steady for the first time. "The witness will continue." Javier spilled it all. Theo's jealousy, his scheme to plant evidence during a friendly studio visit. The courtroom buzzed like a hive disturbed. Elias's eyes widened in vindication, locking onto Harlan's with a mix of surprise and something softer. Hope? But Voss wasn't done. She recalled the tech expert, zooming in on the footage. "Notice the tattoo on the intruder's wrist," she declared. A small wave, inked in blue. Elias's hand was thrust forward, bare skin. "No tattoo." Sophia leaped up. "The lighting's poor. It could be anyone." The jury shifted uneasily. Harlan adjourned early, retreating to deliberate in solitude. In his chambers, he examined the enhanced video Ben had pulled. There, faint but unmistakable, a second figure in the shadows, guiding the first. Theo? That evening, Harlan did the unthinkable. He drove to Boys Town, the neighborhood pulsing with rainbow flags and laughter spilling from bars. Elias and Marcus's building was modest, vines climbing the brick facade. He lingered in the rain, watching shadows move behind curtains until the door opened. Marcus stepped out for trash, freezing at the sight. Judge Whitaker. Harlan's words tumbled out. I need to see him. Please. Marcus's eyes narrowed, protective. After all this time? Why now? Because I'm scared I'll lose him forever, Harlan admitted, rain mingling with tears. Again, Marcus studied him, then nodded curtly. Wait here. Minutes later, Elias appeared, bundled in a sweater, confusion etching his face. Dad? What are you? I found something, Harlan said, thrusting printouts. The footage. It's not you. And Theo, he's the key. Elias scanned the pages, breath catching. You investigated? For me. Harlan's voice cracked. I should have investigated 20 years ago, when you needed me most. Elias's walls crumbled, shoulders sagging. I came out because I couldn't breathe under your expectations. You called it a phase, a sin. I ran to survive. Harlan pulled him into a hug, the first in decades, rain soaking them both. It wasn't a phase. It was you, and I was the sinner. Marcus watched from the doorway, a quiet smile breaking through. As thunder rolled, the three men stood together, the first threads of mending woven in the downpour. The next morning, the trial reignited with fury. Sophia subpoenaed Theo Grant, dragging him to the stand sweating and pale. Mr. Grant, she began, explain the van plates matching yours. And a shadow in the footage, your bill perhaps. Theo blustered, coincidence. I was home. But Harlan, sensing the lie, interjected. Bailiff, escort Mr. Grant to holding. We'll verify that alibi. Chaos erupted. Reporters surged, flashbulbs popping like gunfire. Voss moved from his trial, but Harlan denied it, his gavel firm. Truth demands we proceed. In sidebar, Elias whispered to Harlan, thank you. Harlan squeezed his arm. Family does that. As evidence mounted, Javier's testimony corroborated by phone records, Theo cracked under cross. Fine. I did it. Elias was stealing my thunder. I had to stop him. The gallery exploded. Harlan banged for order, heart soaring with relief. But the real trial was internal, forgiving himself. Closing arguments came swift. Voss conceded the frame-up, but argued Elias's questionable associations tainted him. Sophia painted him as a victim of envy, a man of heart and talent reclaiming his due. Harlan charged the jury, his words measured yet laced with unspoken plea. Justice isn't blind to humanity. It's our chance to see clearly. They deliberated 2 hours, returning not guilty. Cheers erupted. Elias collapsed into Marcus's arms, their kiss a defiant celebration amid the frenzy. Harlan descended, pulling Elias into another embrace. I'm proud of the man you became despite me. Elias pulled back, eyes shining. With me, Dad. Join us. That night, over dinner in their sunlit apartment, roast chicken, stories flowing like wine. Harlan listened. Marcus shared their dreams, a gallery for queer artists. Elias sketched idly, waves now adorning his wrist, a nod to the love that saved him. Harlan raised his glass, to new beginnings, and to loving without condition. As city lights twinkled below, the fractures healed, not perfectly, but with grace. In the heart of America, where shadows once loomed, love had won its verdict. The verdict's echo lingered like smoke after fireworks, but for Harlan, the real blaze was just igniting. Acquittal brought no tidy closure. It unearthed roots tangled deep in regret. As confetti of camera flashes bombarded the courthouse steps, Elias clung to Marcus, their foreheads touching in whispered gratitude. Harlan hovered at the edge, an outsider yearning for inclusion, his robe discarded for a rumpled suit that suddenly felt too tight. Son, he ventured, voice lost in the din. Dinner? My treat. Somewhere quiet. Elias hesitated, green eyes searching Harlan's face for the traps of old. Marcus, ever the bridge, nodded subtly. The gauge on Michigan Avenue. 8 o'clock. Relief washed over Harlan like the first sip of bourbon. He spent the afternoon wandering the Art Institute, Monet's lilies mocking his fractured reflections. How to rebuild? Words failed him in the past. Now, they were his only tools. The gauge hummed with clinking glasses and jazz undertones, its dark wood panels absorbing secrets. Elias and Marcus arrive hand in hand, a portrait of unapologetic unity that twisted Harlan's gut with envy and awe. They ordered steak for Marcus, salmon for Elias, Scotch neat for Harlan, and silence fell heavy as the breadbasket. "You look good," Harlan started, fumbling. "Both of you." Marcus chuckled softly. "Prison chic becomes no one judge." "Harlan," he corrected. "Please." Elias traced the rim of his glass. "Why now, Harlan? The trial was a catalyst, sure. But 20 years. Harlan leaned forward, elbows on the linen. "I replay that night endlessly. You, backpack slung over your shoulder, rain plastering your hair. I yelled about shame, about the farm, the church. But it was my shame, afraid neighbors would whisper, that I'd failed as a father." Marcus's gaze softened. "Fear's a hell of a thief. Stole Elias from you." The waiter refilled waters, giving them space. Elias spoke then, voice steady. "Chicago saved me. Scraped paint for rent. Found community in the bars, the marches." Then Marcus, steady as the lake, wild as the wind. Marcus squeezed Elias's hand. "He painted our first date. Me, fumbling with chopsticks at that hole-in-the-wall Thai place. Hung in our bedroom. Reminder that love's messy, but worth the stains." Harlan absorbed it, a sponge, starved for stories. He shared fragments, his rise from Iowa clerk to Chicago bench, the loneliness of empty rulings. "Your mother's ghost haunts me. She left because I drove you away." Elias's fork paused. "She wrote me once, before the cancer. Said to forgive but not forget." Tears pricked Harlan's eyes. "Can you?" "Not yet," Elias admitted. "But I'm trying." Dessert arrived. Cheesecake drizzled in caramel, and with it, tentative laughter. Marcus regaled them with a tale of wrangling foster kids at a pride parade, Elias adding flourishes like brushstrokes. Harlan listened, walls crumbling brick by brick. As they parted under the marquee, rain-slick streets reflecting neon, Harlan hugged Elias fiercely. "Thank you for this chance." Marcus clapped his shoulder. "Earn it. We're worth it." Back in his apartment, Harlan unearthed a box from the attic. Elias's childhood drawings, faded but vibrant, stick-figure families under crayon suns. He wept then, not for loss, but for possibility. Days blurred into weeks, the trial's shadow fading under autumn's gold. Harlan attended their gallery opening in Pilsen, walls alive with Elias's work, swirling abstracts of intertwined forms, blues and golds evoking stolen glances and stolen hearts. Waves of Us, the series was called, dedicated subtly to Marcus. Harlan bought the centerpiece, a canvas of two figures dancing in stormlight. "For my chambers," he said. "A reminder." Elias beamed, pride swelling. "It suits you." But cracks lingered. At Thanksgiving, Harlan hosted. Turkey roasted to perfection, table set for 3. Conversation flowed, but when politics veered to marriage equality, Harlan tensed. "It's progress," he allowed, "but tradition." Marcus cut in gently. "Tradition evolves." "Ours did, from farm boy to judge, runaway to artist." Elias nodded. "We invited you because we believe in second acts." Harlan raised his glass. "To acts unfinished." Yet doubt not. Anonymous letters arrived at court. Hypocrite, judge, favors son. Harlan burned them, but fear festered. Was reconciliation worth the scrutiny? Winter descended, snow blanketing the city in hush. Elias and Marcus's anniversary approached. Their 5th, marked by a weekend in Door County, Wisconsin, cabined by frozen bays. Harlan tagged along, uninvited but welcomed, carrying firewood and stories. By the fire pit, stars pricking the velvet sky, truths spilled. "I dated women in college," Harlan confessed, "to fit the mold. Never felt right." Elias stared into flames. "Hiding hurts everyone." Marcus tossed a log, sparks flying. "But coming out heals. Like your paintings, Elias, layer by layer." Harlan watched them, entwined on a blanket, and ached with joy. This love, resilient and radiant, shamed his past silences. Spring thawed the ice, bringing bloom. Harlan officiated a commitment ceremony for friends, his words ringing true. "Love defies verdicts. It authors its own." Elias proposed to Marcus under the bean in Millennium Park, ring glinting like hope. They called Harlan first. "Will you walk me down the aisle?" Elias asked. Tears choked him. Nothing would honor me more. But fate twisted. Theo Grant, out on bail, sued for defamation, dragging old wounds raw. Elias testified again, voice unwavering. Harlan recused, but watched from the back, pride fierce. The case crumbled. Theo slunk away. In victory's afterglow, over beers at a Wrigleyville pub, Harlan toasted. "You fought like hell." Marcus grinned. "We all did." Summer sweltered, city festivals pulsing. At market days in North Ulstead, rainbows everywhere. Harlan marched with them, arm in arm, sweat and solidarity binding. Strangers cheered. A child waved a flag. For the first time, Harlan felt seen, not as judge, but as father. Fall circled back, leaves carpeting streets. Wedding plans buzzed, venue in the loop, vows by the river. Harlan helped choose suits, his eye for detail shining. On rehearsal night, nerves jangled. "What if I mess up?" Elias fretted. Harlan cupped his face. "You won't. You my brave boy." The ceremony dawned crisp, Chicago River sparkling. Guests filled the hall, diverse faces, queer kin. Marcus, dapper in navy, waited at the altar. Elias entered, Harlan's arms steadying him. Vows exchanged. In storms and calm, I choose you. Rings slid on, sealing promises. Harlan's toast later. I once judged harshly. Now I witness grace. To Elias and Marcus, love's true verdict. Dancing followed, Harlan twirling Marcus, then Elias, laughter free. As night deepened, he slipped away, heart full. Home, he hung the painting, its waves whispering forgiveness. Redemption wasn't a sentence served. It was a life rewritten, one embrace at a time. Yet deeper currents stirred. Elias confided dreams of adoption, a family of their own. Harlan volunteered, background checks, home visits, eager to grandfather. Paperwork piled, but so did bonds. Holidays now boisterous. Christmases with trees adorned and painted ornaments. One eve, snow falling soft, Elias gifted Harlan a portrait. 3 figures linked under a vast sky. Us, he said. Harlan framed it beside the bench. In court, it grounded him, justice humane, love the law. Years wove on, grandchildren's laughter echoing. Harlan retired, volunteering at shelters, advocating quietly. At 80, frail but fierce, he lay dying, Elias and Marcus at bedside, hands clasped. You made me whole, Harlan whispered. Elias kissed his forehead. We all did. As breath faded, Harlan saw clearly. The greatest theft was time wasted. The richest return, love reclaimed. Echoes of the wedding lingered like the scent of magnolias in a summer breeze. But for Elias, the real unfolding was in the quiet mornings after. He woke tangled in Marcus's arms, sunlight filtering through sheer curtains onto their Lincoln Park brownstone, the city awakening below with the rumble of buses and the cry of gulls. 5 years married, and still, each glance sparked that initial fire, the way Marcus's brown eyes crinkled, promising adventures beyond the horizon. But Harlan's presence wove through their days now, a thread once frayed, now strong. Weekly dinners at Manny's Deli became ritual. Pastrami piled high, stories stacked higher. Harlan, silver hair thinning but spirit unbowed, regaled them with bench tales. Petty crooks turned honest, lost causes won. Justice bends, he'd say, but love straightens it. Elias sketched while they talked, capturing Harlan's gestures in quick lines, Marcus's laugh in sweeping curves. His career bloomed. A solo show at the MCA beckoned, critics buzzing about his Waves of Reconciliation series. Canvases born from the trial's ashes, layers of blue and gold evoking fractured skies mending. Yet shadows crept. Adoption papers loomed, a mountain of forms and fears. What if they say no? Elias murmured one night, head on Marcus's chest. Because of who we are? Marcus stroked his curls. Then we fight. Like always. Their social worker, Lena, a no-nonsense Latina with a tattooed wrist, grilled them kindly. Home visit. The nursery painted soft teal, bookshelves groaning with tales of diverse heroes. Harlan arrived unannounced, bearing a rocking chair he'd carved, hands still calloused from farm days. For the little one, he grumbled, eyes misty. Lena smiled. Family support's key. You three solid. Approval came swift, a letter trembling in Elias's hands. We're parents, he breathed. The call came at dawn. A newborn boy, abandoned at a firehouse, needing them. They named him Theo, not for the thief, but for the Greek gift. Harlan held him first, wonder softening his lines. He looks like you, Elias. Green eyes. Bottle feedings blurred into sleepless nights. Theo's cries a symphony of need. Marcus rocked him through colic. Elias painted lullabies on walls. Whimsical whales swimming azure seas. Harlan visited daily, reading from dog-eared volumes, his voice a gravelly anchor. Parenthood reshaped them. Pride swelled at Theo's firsts. Gummy smiles, wobbly steps across the loft floor. But challenges nipped, stares in parks, questions from teachers. Two dads? Cool, Theo declared at 4. Unfazed, his acceptance a bomb. Harlan's health faltered then, prostate shadows on scans. Routine. He waved off, but Elias saw the wince. They rallied. Marcus cooking hearty stews, Elias dragging him to yoga in the park. One crisp October, Harlan collapsed at court, gavels slipping from numb fingers. Hospital lights harsh, diagnoses tumbled. Parkinson's, early but insistent. I'll manage, he insisted, but tremors betrayed him. Elias took leave, studio gathering dust. You're not alone, he said, echoing words once denied. Marcus coordinated care, therapy sessions in sunlit rooms. Theo drew get-well cards, stick judges with smiling faces. Recovery was gritty. Physical therapy marathons, Harlan cursing through stretches. Damn body betraying me. Elias knelt beside him. Like you once betrayed me? Harlan's laugh rasped. Touché. But look, we're here. Holidays anchored them. Christmas, trees strung with lights. Theo's eyes wide at ornaments. Elias's painted waves, Harlan's carved stars. They sang carols off-key, Marcus's baritone carrying. New Year's, Theo asleep, they toasted on the balcony, city fireworks blooming. To stubborn hearts, Harlan said. Spring brought Theo's preschool play, Little King in Crown of Foil. Grandparents swelled chests. Harlan's hand shook clapping, but clapped he did. Elias's show opened to acclaim, critics hailing emotional depth. Harlan attended, cane steady, pride beaming. My boy's a force. But loss circled. Harlan's old clerk, Ben, passed, quiet funeral by the lake. Harlan spoke, voice cracking. He taught me mercy. Elias held him after, rain mingling tears. We all teach. Summer scorched, Theo's pool party's chaotic joy. Harlan taught him chess on the shaded patio. Pieces clacking like judgments rendered. Fall deepened tremors. Harlan retired fully. Days in the brownstone library, books his court. Read to me, son, he'd ask, Elias's voice weaving tales of far lands. Theo, 5 now, curled beside. Grandpa, tell the trial story. Harlan chuckled. Once I was the villain. No, don't put that. You fixed it. Marcus watched, love in his eyes. Kids see truth. Winter gripped, snowdrifts high. Harlan's decline quickened. Wheelchair days, words slurring soft. Hospice whispers loomed. Elias and Marcus planned, fiercely. Pain managed, memories made. Theo drew portraits, colors bold. One eve, stars sharp, Harlan gathered them. Regrets? Few now. You gave me grace. Elias choked. You gave us family. Marcus nodded. It's not goodbye. Dawn came gentle. Harlan slipped away. Hand in Elias's, Theo's drawing clutched. Grief crashed. Waves relentless. Funeral by the river. Eulogies from benches past. Harlan's robe draped over casket. Elias spoke. He judged the world harshly once, then learned to love it fully. After, brownstone hushed, Theo asked, Where's Grandpa? In the waves, Marcus said, pointing to a painting. Watching. Healing unfolded slow. Spring bloomed. Theo's questions turned to play. Elias painted again. Trio figures. Now 4 with a child. Horizons endless. Anniversary neared. They scattered Harlan's ashes in Lake Michigan, winds carrying him home. That night, lovemaking tender, Marcus whispered he'd be proud. Elias smiled. He is. Years later, Theo's school plays, first crush, a boy with braids. Like you and Daddy, he beamed. Elias guided. Love brave. Gallery thrived. Marcus promoted to director. They traveled, Paris canals, Tokyo neon, Theo sketching all. At 50, Elias reflected. Trial's theft returned manifold, love's bounty. Theo T now came out, bisexual, nervous grin. Your turn to walk me. Full circle, hearts open. Legacy lived. Harlan's Foundation for Queer Youth, funded by sales. Waves rippled outward. In quiet moments, Elias traced Marcus's ring. We won. Always. Theo's coming out unfolded, like a canvas slowly revealed, strokes of courage amid adolescent storms. At 14, he sat them down in the kitchen, sunlight slanting across the oak table scarred by years of family meals. I like girls. And boys, he blurted, cheeks flaming, eyes fixed on his sneakers. Is that okay? Marcus reached first, pulling him into a bear hug that smelled of coffee and security. More than okay, kiddo. It's you. Elias joined, sandwiching Theo between them, laughter bubbling through tears. Braver than I was at your age. Dad would say the same. Theo's grin broke wide. Grandpa's watching, right? Every stroke, Elias affirmed, ruffling his hair, dark curls like his own, but with Marcus's stubborn wave. The brownstone buzzed anew with Theo's explorations. School dances tentative, crushes confessed over late-night ice cream. His first boyfriend, Jamal, a lanky artist with a sketch pad always in hand, joined Sunday brunches, shy at first, then bold, debating comics with Harlan's old chess set as prop. Elias mentored them both, studio sessions spilling paint and secrets. Art's truth, he'd say, watching their hands mingle on canvas. Marcus hosted game nights, laughter echoing off walls once silent in grief. But life layered complexities. Elias's knee buckled one dawn, arthritis from crouched painting years, landing him in physio with a cane echoing Harlan's. Irony, he joked, but Marcus saw the frustration. Lean on me, Marcus said, massaging knots by firelight. Their love, matured like fine wine, deepened in these frailties, nights of stories, bodies familiar as home. Theo's school pushed back. A teacher questioned his lifestyle in history class, code for bias. Outrage flared. They marched to the principal, voices united. Victory small, sensitivity training, but Theo swelled. We fixed it. Summer escape to the Wisconsin dells. Cabins by emerald rivers, kayaks slicing water. Theo and Jamal raced ahead, splashes joyous. Elias and Marcus trailed, hands linked, reminiscing the trial's chaos. Remember the rain that night? Marcus mused. You soaked unbreakable. Elias squeezed. You my light. Evenings, bonfires crackled. Stories wove. Harlan's farm tales, Elias's runaway nights. Jamal listened rapt. Jamal's family conservative but warming. Fall brought Theo's art show. High school gym transformed, his pieces fierce. Intertwined figures defying shadows. Critics, local now, praised youthful fire. Elias teared up, Harlan's painting nearby like guardian. But cracks, Marcus's promotion stalled. Glass ceiling for black men in nonprofits. They say budget, he vented pacing. I hear fear. Elias rallied. Networking brunches, letters to boards. Harlan's old contacts stirred, judges, donors. Breakthrough, new role, higher pay, equity focus. Thank you. Marcus breathed, making love fierce that night. My heroes. Winter holidays glowed. Theo baked gingerbread judges, Jamal helping, flower-dusted chaos. They visited Harlan's grave, snow-draped, leaving wreaths. Miss you, Theo whispered. New Year, Theo announced, Jamal and I official. Cheers, hugs. Elias gifted sketchbooks, build your world. Spring bloom scandals. A former colleague outed Theo online. Vicious trolls twisting his art. Backlash stung, school whispers hurt. They lawyered up, Elias channeling trial grit. Words as theft, he told reporters. Stealing dignity. Support surged. Queer community rallies. Hashtags trending. How em stronger. Penting plotet pits. Thibon sata ting dice. Summer road trip. Route 66 echoes. Motels neon lit. Stops at diners. Theo photographing. Jamal composing beats on phone. One night, Grand Canyon Rim, stars infinite, Theo confided. Scared sometimes. World not always kind. Marcus wrap an arm. But we are. And that's your power. Elias nodded. Like waves, ebb, flow, endure. Fall college apps loomed. Theo, I'd RISD, dreams big. Acceptance letter, danced in mail, full ride. Pride swelled. Our boys soaring. But health nipped. Elias's vision blurred, macular whispers. Glasses first, then specialists. Marcus drove to appointments, hand steady. See the beauty still, Marcus urged, tracing Elias's palm. Theo designed aids, magnifiers painted whimsical. Jamal coded apps for low vision artists. Winter deepened bonds. Theo's gap year deferred for family. He assisted Elias, brushes guided. Holidays, extended kin now, Jamal's mom's joining, tables overflowing. Toast to resilience. Spring wedding bells, Theo and Jamal, courthouse simple, then reception in the studio. Elias walked Theo, cane tapping rhythm, Marcus beaming groom. Vows, in colors bold, I choose you. Dance floor swirled. Elias and Marcus slow danced, years in each step. After, emptiness loomed but joy filled. They traveled light. Italy's hills, Elias dictating paintings to Marcus's phone. Theo's calls, Jamal's show come. Gallery nights continued, legacy looping. At 60, Elias reflected in journal. Trial stole time, love multiplied it. Theo fathered first, a girl Lila, curls wild. Grandpa spoiled, paints sets, stories. Marcus rocked her, eyes soft. Full circle. Elias agreed. Waves, eternal. Lila's arrival crashed into their lives like a comet. Bright, disruptive, utterly transformative. Born on a muggy July dawn in a Chicago hospital humming with beeps and hurried steps, she emerged squalling, tiny fists flailing at the world. Theo paced the hall, Jamal at his side, while Elias and Marcus waited in the family lounge, coffee going cold in styrofoam cups. When the call came, she's here, 8 pounds, perfect. Tears flowed free, hugs fierce. Back at the brownstone, now bustling with baby gear, Lila ruled. Her cries pierced nights, but so did her coos, gurgles turning to babbles, eyes, Jamal's deep brown, locking on Elias's face during story time. Read the waves, she demanded too, pudgy finger pointing to paintings. Elias adapted, voices brush now, describing swirls of cerulean and amber. Marcus built forts from cushions, Lila giggling inside. Theo and Jamal parented with grit. Diapers at dawn, daycare dashes, but leaned on elders, weekends a whirlwind of shared care. Harlan's spirit lingered in these moments. A carved mobile spinning above crib, his voice echoed in lullabies. Grandpa's gift, Theo said, winding it. Challenges layered. Lila's first fever spiked terror. ER waits stretched endless. Elias held Theo's hand. Breathe. We're here. Racial reckonings surfaced. Jamal's family strained. Aunt's comments cutting. 2 dads? What about normal? Holidays tense, but Theo stood firm. This is our normal. Love it or leave. Elias mediated, drawing parallels to his own exile. Families bend, don't break. Summer park picnics became tradition. Blankets under oaks, Lila toddling, chasing pigeons. Neighbors joined, queer couples, single parents, tapestry woven tight. Fall brought Lila's preschool jitters. No go, she wailed, clinging to Marcus's leg. He knelt. Adventure, baby girl. Like Daddy Theo's art. Drop-offs eased. Pickups brimmed crafts, finger-painted rainbows. Elias framed them, gallery walls expanding. But shadows, Elias's vision dimmed further, driving surrendered. Marcus chauffeured, patient. Your eyes see souls, he soothed. Therapy innovated. Voice-guided software, Theo coding tweaks. Lila helped, smudging screens with jam fingers. Winter holidays amplified joy. Lila's first snowman. Lopsided, carrot nose askew, sparked sledding wars. Indoors, cookies baked, shapes of judges and waves. New Year, Lila asleep, adults toasted. To little thieves of hearts, Jamal quipped. Spring bloomed Lila's words. Papa Eli, paint me. He did, dictated to apps, colors vivid in mind. Showcased at family exhibit, her piece sold first. Summer vacation, Michigan dunes, toes in sand. Lila built castles, waves lapping threats. Elias narrated battles, Marcus lifeguarding. One eve, sunset painting sky, Lila asked. Why two grandpas? Marcus smiled. Because love doubles. Fall school start, kindergarten nerves. Lila marched in, backpack bouncing, waving by. How these et? She's fierce. Echoes of Harlan. Elias volunteered at school, reading to classes, tales of redemption. Health pivoted. Marcus's checkup, flagged cholesterol. Diet shifts, salads over steaks, grumbled but embraced. Lila policed. Green good, Daddy Mar. Laughter healed. Winter deepened. Lila's flu sidelined all. Huddled. Movies marathons, soup steaming. Recovery brought clarity. Theo launched nonprofit. Art for foster kids, Harlan inspired. Elias consulted, stories fuel. Justice in colors. Spring wedding anniversary, there's Theo's. Dual parties, brownstone bursting. Lila flower girl, petals tossed wild. Summer road trip redux, Southwest canyons, Lila awestruck. Big sky like grandpa's stories. Campfires, legend spun, stars witnesses. Fall college for Theo's cousin. Family swelled, dinners raucous. Lila's art class. Prodigy hints, brushes tiny. Elias guided. Feel the flow. Winter solstice. Light strung, Lila directing. Holidays. Kin full, tables groaning. New Year dawn. Lila woke them. Snow. Sledding, rosy cheeks. Spring, Lila's birthday bash, piñata cracked, candy rain. Summer camp. Her first sleepover, letters home, scrawled love. Fall, school play, Lila as tree, branches waving proud. Elias's pride swelled. Health harmony, Marcus ran marathons, Elias adaptive yoga. Winter wonder, ice skating, hands linked. Lila skated between hold tight. Spring recital, her dance, waves mimed, graceful. Summer beach, shells collected, stories buried. Fall harvest, pumpkin patch, Lila carving judge face. Elias chuckled. Alandi Apov. Winter tales, by fire, Lila entranced. Holidays heartful. Cycle spun. Lila grew, loves bloomed. First girl crush, shy notes. Parents guided, kind, true. At 70, Elias's hand slowed, but heart raced. Marcus silvered, still strong. Theo's second child, boy Kai, Lila big sis bossy. Brownstone brimmed. Legacy, foundation thrived, youth mentored. One night, stars out Lila, 10 now asked, tell the trial again. Elias did, voice rich. Love won. She hugged. Like us. Always. Kai's cries joined the Brownstone chorus, a duet with Lila's bossy directives. Baby quiet, sissy say. Turning chaos to harmony. At 2 months, he nestled in slings, Jamal mastering dad mode while Theo juggled work. Elias and Marcus tag-teamed anti-grandpa duties. Burcloths at ready, rockers creaking through nights. Lila, self-appointed guardian, drew maps for Kai's adventures, crib to window, stars labeled. See waves, baby bro. Elias narrated from his armchair throne, vision hazy but voice sharp. Once a judge met the sea. Marcus adapted kitchen to low light, labels braille, spices scented. Their intimacy evolved, touches lingual, whispers code. Summer swelled family. Block party in Lincoln Park, grill smoking. Lila leading sack races, Kai gurgling in shade. Neighbors toasted the Whitakers. Legacy earned. But ripples. Jamal's job loss. Layoffs biting nonprofits. Tension simmered. Theo paced. We'll pivot. Elias counseled. Storms pass. Anchor deep. Job hunt yielded. Gallery curator. Perfect fit. Relief party. Rooftop. City lights winking. Fall foliage framed Lila's school project. Family tree. Branches queer and proud. Grandpa's here. She pointed, drawing Elias and Marcus entwined. Tears pricked. Roots strong. Winter wonderland. Kai's first snow. Flakes on lashes. Sleds doubled. Laughter echoing. Holidays. Tree trim. Ornaments tails. Harlan star atop. New Year. Resolutions whispered. More travels, less worry. Spring burst. Lila Science Fair. Volcano erupting, love's reaction. Kai crawled, Chaos King. Summer Camp Redux. Lila Counselor in Training, Kai Babid. Letters Home. Miss Waves. Fall. Theo's book launch. Memoir, Stolen Frames, Trial to Triumph. Signings packed. Elias read intro, voice steady. Reviews glowed. Humanity's verdict. Winter deepened. Kai's words, Papa. Melting hearts. Lila tutored him. ABCs sung. Holidays heartwarm. Kin caravan. Feasts fuse cultures. Spring wedding. Cousins. Lila bridesmaid. Twirling. Kai ring bearer. Toddling triumphant. Summer sojourn. National parks. Yellowstone geysers awing. Camp tales. Bears and bravery. Fall harvest fest. Gourmets. Lost then found. Elias quipped. Like us. Winter solstice. Lantern release. Wishes skyward. Lila's. Family forever. Cycles quickened. Kai's preschool. Lila middle school. Crushes compound. Girl for her. Boy for him. Talks open. Listen hard. Marcus advised. Health harmony. Elias's trials. New meds. Side effects grumpy. Marcus massaged. Warrior. Theo scare. Allergies swell. ER dash. All rallied. Okays breathe. Summer splash. Pool days. Dives daring. Fall. Lila's play. Lead role. Standing ovation. Klaped lodest. Winter. Ice rink. Falls funny. Holidays. Gifts wrap love. New Year. Kai's first fireworks. Uzaw. Spring. Garden plant. Seeds hope. Lila's. Grow like us. Summer road. California coast. Surf lessons. Waves reel. Boards wobbly. Fall. College tours for Lila. NYU dreams. Kai tag. Me too. Winter. Snow Ford Empire. Holidays. Carols composed. Cycles. Lila's prom. Dress swish. Date kind. Elias pinned corsage. Shine. Kai's first fish. Tank bubbling. Summer. Family cruise. Seas calm. Fall. Lila's acceptance. Cheers champagne. Winter. Kai's birthday bash. Dinosaurs roar. Holidays. Full house. Spring. Goodbye party for Lila. Dorm prep. Tears toasts. Summer drop-off. NYC buzz. Hugs hard. Kai sissy back. Soon. Fall empty-ish, but Kai filled. Antics endless. Elias painted audio. Descriptions for Lila's calls. Winter. Visits snow and city. Holidays. All home. Cycles turn. Lila interns. Kai schools. Grandpa's consult. Balance bowl. Health. Marcus knee. Surgery swift. Elias bedside. My rock. Recovery romps. Park stroll slow. Summer. Reunion barbecue. Lila's tails tall. Fall. Kai's art show, school waves mini. Winter, family ski, slopes gentle. Holidays, traditions twist new. New Year, Lila announces, boyfriend, serious. Meetings warm. Cycles, engagements hint. Elias, waves continue. Legacy, foundation expands global now. You thank, you started. At 80, Elias frail, Marcus steadfast. Kai visits, tell story pa. Trial retold, love's arc. Lila, our epic. Yes. The brownstone, once a whirlwind of tiny feet and crayon chaos, settled into a rhythm of echoes and arrivals as the years folded upon themselves. Lila, now 22, jetted between Manhattan galleries and Chicago weekends, her energy a spark that reignited the rooms. Kai, at 10, ruled with boundless curiosity, dissecting gadgets, sketching hybrids of dinosaurs and cityscapes, his laughter a bridge across generations. Elias and Marcus, silver-threaded sentinels, adapted to this grandparent golden hour. Elias's world shrank to audio symphonies, podcasts of symphonies, Theo narrating his latest exhibits, but expanded in stories, his voice a lighthouse for the young. Marcus, knee mended but pace measured, tended the garden. Tomatoes ripening red, herbs scenting air, Lila's visits harvesting bounty for salads shared on the stoop. Lila's engagement bloomed that spring. To Alex, a sculptor with hands calloused like Elias's once were, eyes holding quiet storms. He gets the waves, she confided over brunch, ring glinting, simple silver. The proposal, Central Park Bridge, rain misting, Alex on one knee with a carved band echoing Harlan's gifts. Family converge for the news. Theo and Jamal beaming. Kai quizzing Alex on Dino facts. Elias pulled Lila aside, cane tapping tile. Harlan walk me. I'll walk you. Tears welled. Tradition evolved. Wedding planning wove summers. Venue a lakeside pavilion. Vows laced with art motifs. Kai ring bearer. Practicing strides with solemnity. Marcus coordinated catering. Fusion feasts nodding to roots. But life laced bitters. Elias's decline deepened, memory fogs creeping, names slipping like paint from brushes. The trial, he'd start then pause. You know, Marcus anchored, photo albums thumbed, stories retold. We know love. Theo's gallery hit scandal, donor pullout over woke shows. Fight fierce, petitions protests. Elias dictated op-eds, voice fire. Victory, funding surged, solidarity shone. Fall foliage framed the wedding rehearsal. Dinner at the brownstone, table groaning under roasts and recollections. Kai toasted clumsily. To love stealing hearts, not paintings. Laughter rippled. Alex fit seamless, carving ice swans for flair. Ceremony day dawned golden. Lake Michigan lapping applause. Guests diverse. Queer elders, young activists, filled benches. Elias, arm in Theo's, walked Lila slow, her gown whispering waves. At altar, Alex waited, eyes locked. Vows. In fractures and flows, I build with you. Rings exchanged, kiss sealing. Reception danced. Kai leading conga, Marcus twirling Elias gentle. Lila's first dance with Alex, then Elias, my girl, soaring. Toast poured. Theo's heartfelt, Jamal's humorous. Elias spoke last, voice quaver but true. Love isn't judged, it's rendered. To Lila and Alex, canvas yours. Honeymoon photos flooded. Amalfi cliffs, sculptures kissed. Back, newlyweds nested in Brooklyn, visits frequent. Kai idolized. Teach carve Uncle Alex? Winter wrapped cozy. Kai's holiday play. Elf with sass, stealing scenes. Elias attended, cane applause. Holidays home. Tree traditions, Kai's ornaments lopsided love. New Year, resolutions round, Lila's, exhibit dreams. Kai's, Dino dig. Spring unearthed. Elias's diagnosis, mild cognitive but manageable. Family fortified, apps for reminders, circles of care. Marcus led, one day at a time. Summer dig. Kai's fossil hunt in Illinois quarries, brushes sifting earth. Find small, trilobite shard, treasured. Elias narrated, Ancient Waves. Fall, Lila's first show, NYC Loft, Pieces Bold. Urban Eddies, Loves Entwined. Elias attended via live stream. Voice critique cherished. Reviews raved, sales soared. Winter, Snow Sculptures, Kai's T-Rex Garden Yard. Holidays, Kin Crescendo, Lila Pregnant, Surprise Announced. Gasps Glee, Grandbaby Wave. Spring Swell, Ultrasounds Kicks Felt. Name Brainstorm. Harlan River, They Settled, Flowing Strong. Burr Summer Swelter, Boy, River, Lungs Belting Welcome. Brownstone Baptized in New Cries. Kai Big Bro Proud, Teaching Gentle Hold. Elias held first, Whisper, Welcome Little Judge. Marcus Tiered, Full. Fall Flows, River's Baptism Lakeside, Family Circle. Lila's Maternity Leave, Art from Home, Nursing Sketches. Winter Warms, Kai Science Fair, Volcano Redux, River Cooing Spectator. Holidays, Tiniest Santa, Gifts Giggles. Cycles Cascade, River Toddles, Kai Teens, Crushes Codes. Lila Mentors, Heart First. Elias's Fog Thickens, but Joys Pierce. Birthdays Marked, Story Stubborn. One Eve, Sunset, Gilding Room, Family Gathered. Elias, Trial Taught, Redeem. Marcus, Love Did. Lila, We Do. Kai Always. Legacy Lapse. Foundation Halls named Whitaker Waves, Youth Thriving. At 90, Elias Fades Gentle, Bed Stories as Court. Marcus Bedside Eternal. Last Breath, Family Chorus, Hands Linked. Grief Tides, then Ebbs. Memorial Riverside, Speeches Swell, Harlan's Painting Centerpiece. Marcus Speaks, He Painted Lives. After, Brownstone Breathes, River Draws Waves, Kai Codes Apps, Lila Sculpts Memorials. Marcus Gardens Alone, then with New Love, Gentle Widower, Tom, Hand Soil Shared. Theo Tos, Waves Carry. Decades Drift, Great Grand Kai's Wedding, Rivers Exhibits. Brownstone Cells, Legacy Fund Scholarships. Final Canvas, Family Album, Pages Turn Love. In Every Stroke, Verdict Clear, Love, Acquitted, Eternal.